the world's largest corporate Bitcoin holder, is now worth less than its Bitcoin. Strategy holds 650,000 Bitcoin, worth 55.9 billion today. Its market cap is only 45 billion and change. Does this officially signal the end of the Bitcoin treasury company playbook?
No.
And why not? Or what are you thinking? Like as MNAV goes below 1 on the biggest pioneer in the space.
I think you're seeing momentum pile on. You're seeing people trying to really understand these companies. I mean, there's definitely going to be some train wrecks. There's definitely going to be consolidation. There's definitely going to be changes to business models, but it's going to sort itself out. And at the end of the day, Bitcoin will go to all-time highs again, and the FOMO will start again, and MNAVs will expand. Will they go to 5, 7 times? Probably not. But I don't think it's
you think we get above
here.
2.
I don't think it's going to stay here. I think there's people that are probably looking at this right now saying, wait a minute, I can buy this at a discount.
What about the potential delisting from indexes?
Yeah. That's interesting.
And do you think this is a concerted effort by the likes of JP Morgan?
Yes, I do. I do think it's on purpose.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be rolling out similar credit products. And they would like nothing more than to take some of that market away from Saylor because he's been so successful with it. So yeah, I mean, that's just, it's a war. It's, Bitcoin is rattling the cages.
All right. Well, yesterday, so this is Peter Schiff chiming in.
Oh.
Today is the beginning of the end of MSTR. Saylor was forced to sell stock not to buy Bitcoin, but to buy US dollars merely to fund MSTR's interest and dividend obligations.
Mm-hmm.
The stock is broken, the business model is a fraud, and Saylor is the biggest con man on Wall Street. those are
rough words.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what about the deeper question?
I think right, there's been pressure from him to sell Bitcoin if he needs to, and now he's saying he would do that. There's been pressure for him to have a cash reserve so that he could pay these dividends, and now he's getting that. So like he's figuring this thing out, but no one's going to be happy. No one's going to be happy. But at the end of the day, smart investors buy deep value.
What do you think of them raising cash and sitting on cash? I mean, we went from $500 million.
I think my only criticism of that is why weren't you raising cash when Bitcoin was higher and buying dips, right? So, maybe that model will change over time, right? Maybe they thought that they could corner so much of the market, they could drive Bitcoin up forever, but obviously they can't. There's been a significant wall of selling over this last year, and it's hurt their performance. So, but I don't think it changes the long-term vision for what he's building. I think his vision is going to evolve. I think you put him under the pressure of an attack, and I think he'd get pretty creative.
Yeah, he seems to be
a survivor,
bobbing and weaving. I think they're going to bounce back strong. This is Pierre Richard chimed in. Strategy's new fiat reserve for dividend interest payments checks a box for institutional credit due diligence and rating agencies, near-term coverage of fixed obligations. Long-term, this will likely attract more capital for the preferreds, more business Bitcoin accumulation, and increasing amplification for the common at a lower cost of capital. This would outweigh the opportunity cost of not holding marginally more Bitcoin.
Right.
So looks like the strategy is evolving. I think we're all learning here.
Yep.
The last one I want to bring up is Dan Hillary chimed in here. And I thought this was interesting. Let me bring this one up. So holding MSTR as a call option on them lending out their Bitcoin and creating exponential Bitcoin yield into the future. The reason MNAV is not able to be sustainably high above 2x is because Bitcoin yield based on current tactics is naturally diminishing. If instead Strategy's Bitcoin stack yielded 4% annually via some form of lending, this would be an exponential Bitcoin yield. Mm-hmm. In a world of PE ratios, there could be a high multiple on this exponential yield and could be a significant catalyst for sustained higher MNAVs. How do you get the MNAV higher? People think we are close. This is Fang Li talking. How do you get the MNAV higher? People think we are a closed-ended fund, but we're an operating company. We should trade at some premium that represents our ability to grow our treasury reserves over time. Over the course of the next year, big real banks are going to offer services. We would consider lending with large banks. Have had a lot of productive conversations with large US banks, and they're excited to partner with them.
Yeah.
And that was in response to Fang Li, CEO of Strategy, going on Bloomberg TV today and just referring to the 1.4 billion in US dollar reserves. So, it's an interesting evolving strategy.
That would coincide with, like, of course, JP Morgan would want to attack Strategy if they're going to get into that business.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
And a lot of other, I think, like-minded allies of theirs.
Yep.
So let's jump into the next one here.
Let's do it. All right. Topic number 2, miners pivot to AI infrastructure. Major miners are now partnering with AI firms. Microsoft's $99.7 billion deal with Iris Energy, Amazon's $5.5 billion deal with Cypher to repurpose high-power mining facilities for AI GPUs. Could this pose a risk to Bitcoin security?
No, I don't think this poses a risk. I think this enhances Bitcoin's position in the infrastructure of the country and sort of in power. I want to read more from this article. The future of power integrated AI infrastructure. The convergence of Bitcoin mining and AI infrastructure is reshaping the global energy and tech landscape. By 2026, Bitcoin miners could control over 20 gigawatts of AI-ready power capacity, with companies like IRN and CleanSpark leading the charge. This shift is not merely about repurposing hardware. It's about redefining how digital infrastructure interacts with energy systems. So, and I think this is also in response to, sort of hash rate going out of control at all-time highs, Bitcoin's price plummeting. The commitments from these AI companies for this power usage, and that's all essentially these companies are doing, selling power, is astronomical. I'm a little suspect on whether they're going to deliver the actual revenue from all these contracts, but I think this makes perfect sense, and I think this integrates AI and Bitcoin a lot, or as it should. And I'm hopeful that Bitcoin will be the thing that kind of bends AI towards truth.
I mean, I think it's good for energy production, at large, which is going to be good for Bitcoin mining. It's going to be good for the United States in general. Yeah. So
I think it's going to lead towards nuclear.
Yeah, I do. I agree. All right, let's move on
to the next one here. All right, well, let's go talk about Elon some more. Musk,
some fundamental currencies, if you will, that are physics-based. So energy is the true currency. This is why I said Bitcoin is based on energy. You can't legislate energy. You can't just, pass a law and suddenly have a lot of energy. It's very difficult to generate energy, or especially to harness energy in a useful way to do useful work. So I think that probably we won't have money, and probably we'll just have energy, power generation as the de facto currency.
That was a little confounding when he says we're probably not going to have money.
I've actually heard this kind of theory before from others, that eventually all money would go away and it would just be energy. But it's hard to fathom. Like, how do you trade?
Would you trade Bitcoin?
If you're going to trade an energy token, then you're going to be trading Bitcoin.
Right. So there's still tokens. There's just So when he says there's not going to be money, at first I'm thinking that he's conflating that with fiat and saying currencies are going to go away.
Maybe.
And then he's saying something like Bitcoin's an energy-backed token, when that's just, i.e., money.
Yeah.
So it's still, I'm still not blown away by anything he says.
But when he changes his mind, he's just going to apologize.
Is that a new clip? I'm not positive that's a new clip.
No, it's old.
That's old. Okay, that's why it's not making. It's just going around.
No, it's pretty new, guys.
That's pretty new.
You sure?
But how come it's making no splash like anytime he's ever mentioned either things like Doge or Bitcoin before?
Right.
And I don't think it's making as big a noise as it used to. But I don't know. It's interesting. He still seems like a word salad to me.
Well, he's a complicated guy, right? I mean, he goes all over the place. He's like he'll change his tune all the time. Like next week, he could be talking about fucking Ripple for all we know.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, I think a lot of the times, like when he was talking about Doge, that was on the back of all the repercussions he got from moving to Bitcoin during the green energy attack on Bitcoin, or that it was going to burn the world. And it's like he has a lot of masters to please in his world,
So
You
you're
know what
excusing
I mean?
his flip-flopping.
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying, like, I think that he plays those games.
He speaks to different audiences with different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one here.
All right, Revolut's Lightning integration. Revolut announced Lightning Network support via LightSpark for its millions of users. Can this fintech giant's move finally ignite consumer Bitcoin payments?
No, I don't think this is a big deal at all. I don't think it's gonna like ignite Lightning or consumer payments. I think this could be some sort of big development, and this is not guaranteed to actually happen. But I think this is a real partnership from what I looked into. These are big companies in terms of Revolut. They have about 55 million users across the world.
Look, I think this is good. I think this is great. I mean, this is like anytime a big fintech platform integrates Lightning, or in this case, LightSpark. Which Spark is cool.
I think LightSpark is legit.
It's actually moving legit Bitcoin. It's not.
And I think it's battle tested over at Coinbase, I believe.
I don't know about that.
I think Coinbase is implemented from what I read in this article.
But I don't think this ignites consumer payments. Like it doesn't flip the switch. And I think the real problem there is that they're dealing with European regulations. They're dealing with MiCA or Mika, however they pronounce it.
Yeah, which has shaped this company a lot. You know, this company's only been around about 10 years, and they're already a $75 billion privately held company in Europe. But they are shaped a lot by the regulatory framework.
And that's in flux and in development and trying to, so this isn't going to roll out quickly, but the fact that they're committing to rolling this out and that they are going to make this happen, that's like the Cash App of Europe, right? I mean,
it's like the PayPal of Europe. They're competing with these major companies.
Yeah, so that's great.
They announced this deal in May. They touched upon it recently in November. We don't know when it's going to come out. It could be a test case or a trial run here in December, or it could be sometime in Q1. But it would be great to see. I don't think it's a game changer.
It is a end run to the end zone before the EU kills.
Well, I also don't think this is not all about Bitcoin. There's a lot.
No, I understand.
It's about crypto and stablecoins.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one here. I think we have a clip from Farida Nabarima. Okay. The African Bitcoin Conference kicks off the 4th edition in Africa. As Africa's Bitcoin community gathers in Africa, I can't see, December 3rd to 5th, under the leadership of Togo activist Farida Nabarima. Many attendees are calling it one of the highest signal events on the global Bitcoin calendar. How might this summit shape the narrative around financial sovereignty and decentralized infrastructure across the continent?
Well, I mean, if this, we're going to play a clip. No. Okay. If this summit just reflects what's happening in Africa, then it says a lot about sovereignty and Bitcoin adoption. I just had a conversation last week. It'll be on our Byte Federal podcast here, coming shortly, with Stafford Massey from Africa Bitcoin Corporation, which is the first Bitcoin treasury company that's really developing in Africa. And when you hear the stories he tells about the adoption, the amount of real life commerce that's taking place with sats, it's so exciting. Like Africa has just said, you know what? Bitcoin volatility is nothing compared to 3% daily inflation. like 20% drop in Bitcoin, we don't care. We're going to use sats. And they come from a culture where I guess a very large percentage of their economy, like larger than the cash economy, is like much, much bigger than the so-called banked or legitimate economy. So they come from a culture of banking themselves, where you had somebody in your community that was the human ATM, that was the human bank account, that was your lender. And so they very much have that trust and peer-to-peer system built. And now they have a digital format that goes straight to your phone. And they're adopting it at a massive pace. I mean, it's so exciting. I think it's happening in Africa.
What do you think is going to have a bigger impact on Africa than sort of the storing of value and whatever sats they're able to acquire, and keep, or is it going to be more using Bitcoin as payment rails and not so much the fees that are saved, but connecting Africans with the rest of the world as entrepreneurs?
It's both. It's all the above, but it's starting in this part of the world, right? It's starting as medium of exchange, but that medium of exchange, because it's not devaluing, because it's not inflating away to dust, now they have savings. Now they're able to, fund future growth and future projections and grow their businesses, pursue passions, start things that they never fathomed that they could start. So it's starting there with MOE and moving to store value. We're obviously in the West where we have a banking system that works. We have payments and credit cards and everything that works. Is starting as store value and moving to MOE. But I don't know, man. What's happening in Africa when you start hearing these stories is really cool.
Awesome. All right.
I'm stoked.
Hit like and subscribe. This is Bitcoin Saylor, brought to you by Byte Federal. Go bank yourself. Let's head over to the lightning round.
So you've heard Bitcoin is the new gold rush by now. As world leaders on all sides have endorsed it as the future of money, and now you're looking to get started, we'll show you how. It's actually easier than you think. First, go to your nearest Byte Federal ATM and turn your cash to coin. Byte Federal has over 1,200 locations around the country with the highest daily limits. Go to our website, bytefederal.com, to find the nearest ATM to you. Log in to any wallet, then create an account, deposit your US cash, and instantly convert it to Bitcoin. That's it. We are the only US manufacturer and operator in the Bitcoin ATM industry, and our US-based live customer service is second to none. Go on, give it a whirl, and don't get left behind. Click the link below.